I don't know why I'm so excited to film a physical TBR video, but here we are. And I am pumped. I'm pumped up. I have been accumulating a bunch of books. I've been buying a lot of books on Pango, so they just stack up quickly because they're cheap and it's just easy to buy on there, especially when you sell your books on there and then you have money and it's like you're not spending money because it's not actually coming out of your bank account. My physical TBR is a little out of hand at the current moment, so I want to go around my room and show you the different areas of books that I have that are unread, and then we will count up the tally. We will count them at the end. We will tally them up. I'm staring at my TBR cart right now and it needs organized. There's a huge, I'll show you. You guys will see. First, I want to start with these books right here next to me. This is my monthly TBR. I didn't do one for July just because I have these books brought over from previous months because I did not finish those monthly TBRs. So I have The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. This is the third book in the Broken Earth trilogy. I actually have this book on audio, so I will be listening to this when I get the chance, and then we will finish out this trilogy, which will be super satisfying. I also have Clockwork Angel. You can see that I am currently reading. Be prepared for that. Just saying, that's all I'm going to say on that one. And then I have The Art of Catching Feelings by Alicia Thompson. I picked this up at Books A Million. It was in their bargain section, so I got it for like $6. I really enjoyed a book by this author, and then I really didn't enjoy a book by this author, so I'm curious to see how I feel about this one. I'm not really one for baseball romances, but it was only $6, so I figured I would pick it up, and I love her covers as well. They're like comic book style covers. I just love that art style so much. We'll see if I get to that. And then lastly, on my monthly TBR, I have Red City by Marie Lu, which the second book, the cover is out. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's perfect, and I am so excited to get into this. I feel like I'm gonna really love this. And hey, where'd you come from? This is my current read, Gideon the Ninth. You guys will see this hopefully next week. I have a reading vlog on this one, as well as The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bavellino. I believe the second book either just came out or it's coming out soon. I've seen people read it. I haven't seen the ratings though, but I know that people are getting this book or the art copies. I'm not entirely sure when the second book is being released or is released, but I am excited for this one. I wanted to read this one for a while. And then I also have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and I've had this book on my TBR for years now. Years. And the third book is finally coming out, so I'm gonna wait for that one to come out in paperback before I finish it, but at this point, it'll probably take me 6 years to finish this trilogy, depending on how I like it. Now we're gonna movie shimmy. Girl, what are you doing? Why is she on my bookshelf? Can you see her? God, I'm a mess. Sorry, I don't know what's happening right now. Is she in there? Yeah, Maisie. We're going to talk about this shelf right on yonder. I have read the Mortal Instruments series, so those 6 books are checked off. I have not read Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess, as you can infer from me having Clockwork Angel on my TBR. And then I have not read Lady of Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness, Chain of whatever these 3 things are. Iron Thorn, gold, depending on what order those actually go in. I don't know. Maisie, what do you even have under there? I don't even want to look. I have to though. A paintbrush? You can't paint. You don't have fingers. You better not knock any of this off because there's glass up here, girl. You stay down. You stay off my bookshelf. No. Okay, we're gonna go back right here. This is a beautiful angle, honestly. Okay, love this. I do also have the... How many things am I going to ruin in this video? The Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Maisie, what are you doing? Her tail is so big. You just did that to yourself. She knocked over my trash can and lost her mind. It's okay. As I was saying, I have Mistborn, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages, which isn't Mistborn also called The Final Empire? That's why it's always confused me because the first book is called Final Empire, I think. Maybe not. I love these covers, like the blue and white and the watercolor looking effect. I've had this series or this trilogy on my mental TBR. Well, actually, I think I marked it as want to read on Goodreads in 2015, I want to say, so it's been a long time coming. And I actually am kind of in the mood recently to start this trilogy and finally get into the Brandon Sanderson world and read my first Brando Sando. So maybe this will happen in the next couple of months. I don't know. I just been staring at it and I'm like, I really kind of want to read that right now. And I also have another book by him as well that you guys will see in a minute. I don't really know if we want to count these, but I do have them unread. I have the first 9 volumes of Hunter x Hunter. I've watched Hunter x Hunter a couple times, but I have not read the manga yet, and I really enjoy the anime, so that's why I got the manga. I don't actually know. Well, I do want to read it, but now they're coming out with the omnibuses. I'm thinking of getting rid of these and getting the omnibuses because I prefer those more. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 volumes or 9 omnibuses of One Piece. I can read the next 3, and then I need volumes 28, 29, and 30, and then the rest of them are ones that I found on Pango that I will eventually need to read, so I bought them just to have them. And I'm so excited to continue and read more of One Piece because I've been loving it so far. I've read the first 6 omnibuses, and I would really like to do like a whole entire weekend of just reading a whole bunch of these. That is all of the books on my bookshelf that I have unread. Oh, I also, okay, technically I have not read all these Demon Slayer manga as well, but I'm not gonna count those. I'll read them eventually, but that's 23 to add to my list, to my final count, and I don't want to do that. We're gonna bring my card over, and this is where it's a hot mess. Let's do this. Okay. I'm gonna take everything. Well, I'm gonna show you what it looks like right now. This is what it looks like. Do you see just the stack? Those are all the books that I've been buying, and I'm just stacking them up. I'm gonna bring it over here, and I'm gonna take all the books off the cart because obviously it needs organized a ton. We're gonna just stack them up, and then as I go through them, I'm gonna put them back on the cart. Are you kidding? I'm not stacking those back up. I definitely want to put like my hardcovers on top. Hardcover / really tall paperbacks. So first up, we're going to go into a series that I really need to finish. I have 4 books left, but they're chunkers. They are chunkers. I have the next book that I need to read. Heartless Sky, which is book 7 in the Zodiac Academy series. I just want to show you guys, if you've never opened one of these books, look how small those words are. Like, genuinely, thank God they're on Kindle Unlimited, because if not, I honestly would not read that. And then, of course, I have Sorrow in Starlight, which is book 8. And then I do have book 8.5, which is called Beyond the Veil. I've heard people tandem read this with book 8, so I'm probably going to do that. I just don't really know how that's gonna work. I have to look up the chapters and stuff. If there's novellas in between books in the series, I don't tend to pick them up unless I really, really like the series. There are other novellas throughout the Zodiac Academy series as well that I have not read, but I've heard that this is the one that you should read if you do read any of the novellas. And then last but not least, we have Restless Stars, which is book 9. I hope to finish it by the end of the year because I would love to just have those books off my TBR and put them with the rest of the books. It's so satisfying finishing a series, especially a series that long. Now we're going to talk about the next Brandon Sanderson that I have. This is in the Cosmere universe, but it's a standalone novel. This is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. I actually got recommended this by one of you. I'm very, very interested in this, so I don't know if I want to read this as my first Brandon Sanderson or go into Mistborn. I've been debating it, but I think I might start Mistborn just because I don't really know anything about the Brandon Sanderson universe right now, and I feel like Mistborn would be a good entry point to that, and then I'll pick this up, maybe even after reading the first book. But I am very, very excited to read this one. Malice by John Gwynne. I do have a wristband to some concert that I went to. I'm on page 149, chapter 20. But I definitely will start this over. I've talked about this before. I've tried to listen to this on audio twice. I had it borrowed from Libby, but I only got 100 some pages into it, and then my book was due back, so I didn't get to finish it. And I just have not gotten into this book, and I really want to. I really want to see if I like it. So far I have. It is just like a little intense. I don't know if I'm in the mood for it right now, but I need to be eventually. That is going to be there for probably quite some time. I'm not going to lie. We have a new addition to my TBR. This is Us Deadly Few by Alexis Patton. This is book 2 in the A Stark Few trilogy. I don't know if, does it have a specific name? Probably. I never know the names of the series. I read A Stark Few, was it 2024? I read it for the book bingo series I was doing, and that was definitely 2024. Wow, I don't want to believe that, actually. It's a dystopian young adult. I love it so much. I loved A Stark View. It was a 5-star read for me, so I highly recommend it if you have not picked up the series yet, but they are traditionally published now. Well, book 3, the last book in the trilogy, is coming out in, I believe, September. I do have that pre-ordered, and they're all coming out in hardcover. I really regret not getting the indie copy of even the first one or these first 2, but I definitely want to reread A Stark View before I get into Us Deadly Few, just because I loved it so much, and I want to have a refresh of everything that happened. I've heard this one is just crazy, and I'm ready for it, but I'm also not ready for it. Please read this if you have not, especially if you love dystopian. It's so good. And it's not even like a YA that feels crazy YA. Pick it up. Pick her up. Next up, I guess we'll go with Aragon, and I still have not learned how to pronounce this. I picked these up. If you watch my little free library hunting video, I got these 2 books. This is book 1 and book 3. I've been wanting to read this series for so long. I've heard great things about it, and I love dragons, so I'm pretty sure I'll really like it. But I'm just nervous about it being for younger readers now, but I don't really let that deter me from books because a lot of middle grade or younger books are really, really, really good. I'm gonna squeeze some thin ones on the top, so we'll go through these. You guys probably also saw in my little free library hunting video that I got the first Michigan Michigan Chillers by Jonathan Rand. These are books that I read in elementary school and I absolutely loved them. So we have Mayhem on Mackinac Island, that's book 1. And then on Pango, I bought 2 books from someone, so I have the book 2. The second book in the Michigan Chiller series, this is Terror Stalks Traverse City, my most prized possession now. I have number 13 in the American Chillers series, Virtual Vampires of Vermont. This is the book that made me fall in love with reading. I went into this world when I was reading it, and I had the best time of my entire life. Having this actually as a physical copy to add to my collection means so much to me. I guess this isn't on my physical TBR because I have read this one. I don't think I've read the other 2 that I just talked about, but I'm gonna reread it. So we'll keep it on my physical TBR. And I don't know if I can really shove this in here, but I'm gonna make it fit. I am gonna make you fit. And now I just want to read them all. I really do. Okay, moving on. I have this random omnibus. I don't even know what it is. My dad had it at our garage sale and he was like, do you want this? And I'm like, you know what? Sure, I'll keep it. It looks like this. It looks like FLCL, but I don't know. I really don't know. Oh yeah, FLCL anime series is considered one of the high points in modern anime. Surreal sci-fi romp. A sullen Japanese boy finds himself in the middle of an interstellar conspiracy. There's a sexy space assassin becomes his family mate, and his own head becomes a portal for armed robots. We'll try it out. What else should we get into? I have The Tatami Galaxy by Tomihiko Morimi. I picked this book up when I was browsing the bookstore and it was so small and cute, so I figured I wanted to get it just because of how cute it is. But the cover's fantastic as well, but this is based off of an anime too. I'm very intrigued by it, so hopefully we'll get into this soon. And then I believe there might be a second book or a book that correlates with this one. I'm not entirely sure, but I watched Jesse the Reader's, I think it was his book haul that he just did, and he picked up some second book that came after this one. He hadn't read this one yet, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what he said. So I didn't know that, but now I know that there's another book in this universe, I guess. We have Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan. I picked this one up at a half price books, which I don't have a half price books near me. I think the closest one is like 2 or 2.5 hours away. Anytime I'm in a place where they have a half price books, I am there. And I'm going to be browsing. We're going to talk about these 2. I have Legendborn and Bloodmark. These are books 1 and 2 of the Legendborn series cycle. I've heard fantastic things about this series as well. I think book 3 is out. I don't know if it's out in paperback yet, which every time I have a series and I have the first books in paperback, but they're coming out in hardcover, it's like you have to wait a whole entire year for them to come out in paperback. That's one of the reasons why I tend to put them off. I haven't had these on my TBR for too long though. I did get Bloodmarked at an Ollie's for $2.99. So I definitely need to go back to Ollie's every so often and check out the books and see if they have anything good, but I honestly don't like that store, so I never find myself going in there. I got this one at the half price books as well on the same trip that I got Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This is The Water Outlaws by S.L. Huang. I believe this is a fantasy standalone, so that's good, but I love this cover as well. Very beautiful. I have so many books. All right, we gotta get through this. I have a tip for you guys. If you're getting a TBR cart, just get the big one. I got a mini 3-tiered cart from Michael's and it's hard to get the books in there. I got the mini one because I didn't want to have a lot of room to put books because I wanted my physical TBR to be smaller. But as you could see earlier, they were just stacked up on the top. So getting the mini didn't really work, but I would suggest it if you have self-control that I don't have. All right, next up I have Small Favors by Aaron A. Craig. I also got this at a discount price from the used book section of the bookstore that I frequent now. Why am I over this? I am checked out right now. I don't even want to finish filming this video. Small Favors by Aaron A. Craig. I read House of Salt and Sorrows and House of Roots and Ruin by this author, and apparently there's a 3rd book coming out in that series, and I am so impatient because I love those books. House of Salt and Sorrows I read this year, and it was like my 6-star read of the year. Oh my god, I love it so much. So when I saw this by the same author, I had to pick it up, and I'm hoping that I love it as much as those 2 books. So good, so good. If you have not read House of Salt and Sorrows, please do. Satan! No! Next up, The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is the same author as The Night Circus, which I read that book a very long time ago, and I really loved it. I do want to reread that book. I had planned to reread it a couple years ago, and I just never got around to it. I've heard good things about The Starless Sea, and of course, it's an author that I have liked the book by before, so why not pick it up? And this book is so floppy. Do you hear this? Wait. I love that sound. Okay, I think I can fit this little book in there. I have What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I've had my eye on this series for so long, years now, and I've never picked it up, but now I have it, so we're gonna read it eventually, and I don't even know if I'm gonna like it. I've never read why can I not say the author's name? T. Kingfisher. I have never read a book by this author, so I have to know, you know, because everybody talks about them, and they have so many books out. They are putting in the work. I gotta put in the work and read one of their books. Oh, I was talking about Ninth House earlier. I have Hellbent. This is book 2. Don't really need to explain any more on that. And then I also have A Door in the Dark by Scott Rankin. This is a young adult fantasy. I've heard it compared to the HP. I haven't seen people talk about this series at all. My TBR cart is always away from my bookshelves, and I find myself not really looking at the cart anymore, which is so frustrating because I have books that I need to read that I've had for so long. So I need to fix that, and I think this video is going to help me do that because now my cart's going to be organized and I'm going to want to look at it more, hopefully. I'm crossing my fingers. And then when I was buying probably some of the One Piece omnibuses, this person also had The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker, and I was very drawn in by this cover. It has a dragon on it, so of course I'm like, me and dragons, you know. But this is book 1 of the Tide Child trilogy, and I looked it up on Goodreads. It does have good ratings, so I'm very excited for this one. Stormborn by Michael Livingston. This is the final book in the Seaborn trilogy, or the Seaborn cycle. I love these books. I love these books so much, and I want to read this very, very soon. I just ordered this one actually and got it in the mail like last week, I want to say. I'm so scared to see how this wraps up, but I'm also excited to see how everything wraps up. I don't know, I really enjoy this trilogy, and it's been such a great experience for me reading these books. Highly recommend if you like pirates, fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi kind of maybe. I want to read this right now actually, but I'm not going to because I have other books on my radar. I'm coming for ya. I am. These books have also been on my TBR for a while. I have A Thousand Splendid Suns and The Secret History. I'm intimidated by this one. This is the one I'm actually probably going to put off the most, even though I really, really, really want to read it. I need to read A Thousand Splendid Suns though, because I read The Kite Runner and I loved it so much. It was so good. I love that author's writing. Hopefully I'll get that read by the end of the year. And then my last Pango purchase. See, here's the thing. This seller had one of the Michigan Chillers, and then I saw these books on their shop as well, so obviously I'm like, you know, they have these for cheap, so I just picked them up because I save on shipping as well. But I have these Hollow Vows and these Twisted Bonds by Lexi Ryan. I've heard talk about these books years ago. I don't know if this is just a duology, but I did have my eye on them a while back, and I don't really know if I'm going to enjoy them fully now, but we'll see. Might as well try them out. I am just buying books for the heck of it, it feels like. But that's the thing, like, if I go to the bookstore, I can limit myself to buying books because they're full price and I don't want to pay that much. But when I'm shopping on Pango or any bargain website, or I'm at like a half price bookstore, that's when you stack up the books because they're cheap, and then you have them all and you're like, okay, this is a bit much. Now I have Thunderhead, or is this book 3? Yeah, Thunderhead is book 3. No, 2. Sorry, I can't count. Thunderhead is book 2 in the Scythe trilogy, and then I have The Toll, which is the final book. I think there's another novella, or there's a book after this that are kind of a whole bunch of short stories in this universe. Probably won't be reading that. I'm just gonna get through these 2 and finish off this trilogy. Now we're gonna twist it on over to the back. Bookmark. A spicy bookmark. This goes in Storm Warning. Where are you? Right here. This is Storm Warning by Ella Embers. This is actually book 2, but I bought this from a bookstore on Independent Bookstore Day, and then I ordered She's My Kind of Rain because this is technically book 1. I think they're just interconnected standalone romances, but I wanted to read the first book before I got into Storm Warning. So She's My Kind of Rain is book 1, and it is the most beautiful cover. I love it so much. I love, like, when covers have separate illustrations or images and they just look like comic strips or something. You know what I mean? I just love that so much. I want to read Storm Warning though when it's like downpouring, thundering. I'm waiting for the day where it just storms like crazy. My last bookstore trip, I got Dating and Dragons by Christy Boyce. I read Dungeons and Drama, I think a couple years ago, and I really enjoyed it. It's such a cute young adult romance. Definitely young adult, but it was still wholesome to read about. And I was like, you know what, I might as well pick up book 2. So I got this one. And then on that bookstore trip as well, I got The Summer of Lost Things by Jen Bennett. This is an author that I've read a lot of their young adult books. I don't know if this is an adult debut from them, but I found it in the adult romance section. And this cover's pretty as well. You guys can see that. So I should probably read this summer since it is a summer book. But I saw Jen Bennett and I was like, oh my god, she has a new book out, which I think it's new. Hold on, let me look at the year. Yeah, 2026. I had no idea because I don't follow this author anyway. I don't really follow a lot of authors on social media because I don't really spend time on social media too much. But I'm very excited to read an adult romance from her because I think I read 4 young adult romances, and Alex Approximately is one of those. And that book was the first book that I read in one sitting. I remember just sitting in my old room and reading that book front to back no interruptions. I was sucked into that book and it was so good. Anything Jen Bennett now, I want to read. Lastly, I just have some graphic novels. I do have Chi Sweet Home. This is the third one. I've read 1 and 2. I have it right here. And then I only have to read 3 and 4. I don't own 4 yet. It's so cute. It's about this cat that gets lost and then this family finds it, and then you just get their journey with raising this cat named Chi. Super wholesome. I love it. Recommend if you like cats and graphic novels because the art in there is super cute as well. Last 2, I have Princess Mononoke, which is the all-in-one like film comic edition, and then I also have Kiki's Delivery Service. I do want to get quite a bit of these. I want Spirited Away so bad, and then I need Totoro as well. I love little Gigi on the spine. Oh my god, it's so cute. These are really cool if you like Studio Ghibli movies, just even to have them as a collection or whatever, but I am going to read these. That's that. My back hurts because my posture has not been good. All right, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 65. Honestly, not too bad. So, what book should I read next, guys? What books do you want to see me read in a video? I feel so good about this being organized now. It looks so much better. Actually, I don't want to admit this, but I am going to the bookstore later, I think. I'm going to meet my friend there. Okay, listen, my last video, if you watched that, the reading vlog where I read The Busiest Place You Know, I need book 2. I was talking about book 2 in that video, and I definitely did want to pick it up because I want to read it during the summertime. So I will be picking up that book from the bookstore sometime this week, if not today. So we'll say 66, I guess. If you guys want to follow me on Goodreads or Fable, I have both of those, and I update both of those in real time. So if you guys want to know what I'm reading in real time, if I'm not posting videos or anything, you can always do that as well. I have it linked in the description. You can add me as a friend on Goodreads. I will follow you back on both of them. And that is it. That is my entire physical TBR. I feel so much better, actually. That was exhausting, though. I don't know why I'm so tired right now. I will see you guys in my next video, whatever that may be. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day or great night wherever you are, and I'll see you later. Bye.